Solar panels can leave you trapped in your own home. Hi, I'm Chuck Vosberg from Next Home, along with my wife Pat, your favorite realtors, and I've got some information for you that you need to know before you purchase or lease solar panels. I'd like to start off by explaining the three ways you can get solar panels. The first way is to purchase them. You pay for the solar panels, you have them installed, they belong to you. That's great. The second way, you can lease the solar panels. And then the third way is you can purchase the solar panels but finance them. So let's go through these, and I'd like to explain a few things, and there are some that'll disagree with me on this, but I can back it up, and I will. First, let's talk about the obvious question. Will solar panels increase the value of my house? Now, it's different from state to state, but here in Florida, where I live, the answer is no. No, they will not. They will barely increase the value of the house. Now, I've talked to multiple appraisers about this just to verify it, and the truth of the matter is that solar panels only increase the value of your house by a few $1,000s, and that's on a $30,000 or $40,000 purchase. So if you're looking to increase the value of your house by purchasing solar panels, that is not a good investment. So if you're paying cash for them, if you're planning on staying in the house for a very long time, they may pay off, but generally speaking, they don't. So now we come to purchasing them, but financing. And that's usually the option that most people take. But here's the problem. That loan has to be paid off at closing if you're going to sell your house. So that presents a problem because the finance company has a lien on your house against those solar panels. And let's just say you spent, average solar panels here in my area are between $30,000 and $40,000. So let's just go with $30,000. So you've been in your house a couple of years, you got the solar panels on there, and you've got a $30,000 loan against these solar panels. You may not have enough equity in your house to be able to cover that loan. And if you don't, it's just as bad as being upside down in a car loan. You can't sell unless you can come up with the cash to buy out that loan that you've got on the property. Now, let's talk about another way that's extremely popular and getting more and more popular, and this is the one that's the most dangerous: leased panels. Now, first of all, let me explain to you how it works. So the salesman will come in, they'll tell you, look, it's no money down. You can get solar panels. You're going to have a fixed, very low rate for your electricity. You never pay any more than that, and it doesn't cost you any money down. It's a 25-year lease, and it's really great, and it sounds great on the surface until you read the agreement. So let's kind of break this down a little bit, and I'd like to explain to you how these agreements can make it darn near impossible for you to sell your house. So let's start off at the very beginning. So there's no money down on this, and in order for the seller of these things to do this, they have to have 5 years. So during that first 5 years, you can't pay it off. There's just no way, because they need 5 years in order for them to start making money on it. So that's kind of a side issue, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Keep in mind, most people move every 7 to 9 years. So here we go. They will tell you it's a fixed amount for your electricity. But what they won't tell you, unless you read your agreement word for word, it's up to the estimated amount that the panels are going to produce. And if you go over that, then you pay for whatever the overage is. Sounds fair enough, right? Well, here's where it gets sticky. The panels are estimated to produce a certain amount of power. That doesn't mean that they will, and it doesn't mean that they're going to continue to produce that amount of power. It's known that panels, as time goes by, they become a little bit less effective. And you can look up how much less effective on your own. Here's what happens. Let's say your panels aren't producing quite as much anymore as you're consuming. Well, guess who gets to pay for the overage? That would be you. The solar panel also has an agreement that it's a fixed amount. And it goes up, on the ones I've seen, about 2.5% a year. So it's going to ramp up a little bit over time, over this 25-year span of the agreement. The marketing material and even the agreement itself says, we will not put a lien on your property. It says it plain as day, will not put a lien on your property, because homeowners know if there's a lien on your property, that makes it impossible to sell. No lender's going to lend a property that's got a lien against it, and no buyer is going to buy a property that has a lien against it. So that has to be satisfied at closing, and we'll get to that. But then in the very next paragraph, it says, now, but we will put a UCC1 against the solar panels, and just to verify our ownership of them. Well, here's what most people don't know. A UCC is a lien. It's a lien. Now, the solar company will say, nope, it's not a lien. It's a different thing, but it is a lien. And you will not get a loan for a house if it's got a lien on it, including a UCC. It also says in the agreement that if they don't pay one of their subcontractors, they can put a lien on your house as well. So how do you get out of it? Well, there's only one way to get out of it. Either the buyer has to have it transferred over to them, or it has to be bought out at the end. But here's the catch. Remember how I said that no lender will lend when there's a UCC on a house or any other kind of lien? Well, the only way to get that off of that house is to buy out the entire 25 years, and they will gladly take that whole 25 years of payments, whatever they all add up to. They'll gladly take that in advance. Or you can purchase the panels, and they'll send out a panel appraiser to appraise the value of your panels and your system, and then you could just pay that. Well, it's going to be a lot more than the couple $1,000s that increase the value of the house. So here's the bottom line. Whether you finance your panels or if you lease them, it makes it extremely difficult to sell your house. And what's more, they financially don't work out. Now, if you're purchasing your panels outright and you're doing it because you want to help the environment, you want to cut down on your carbon footprint, that's awesome. But if you're doing it because you think you're going to save money, you're not. And if you're leasing panels, it seems like a great idea, and the salesman will forcefully tell you that it's such a great idea and you can easily sell the house and you can just transfer it to the new people. If they're getting a loan, that's impossible. And on the agreement that I saw, it said it guarantees the new people will qualify. But then in the agreement, it says something else. It says that they have to qualify. So all the way through, the marketing material and the actual agreement do not add up. They say one thing in the marketing materials, and then in the agreement it says something completely different. They're counting on the fact that you may not read the whole thing, and they're also counting on the fact that you may not understand what all the language is in it. So it may sound like I'm totally against solar panels, and I'm not. I think solar panels are awesome. I think they're the future. But what I am against is people ripping consumers off. And in my opinion, this is a ripoff, because what it says in the agreement and what it says in the marketing materials are not the same thing. And it's just not a good investment. So write in the comments, what do you think? Maybe you've had a really great experience. If I'm totally wrong, tell me in the comments. I'd love to have an education. Maybe you know something I don't know. But this has been my experience selling lots and lots of houses here in Florida, many of them with solar panels on them. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or Pat. We'll tell you anything you want to know. No strings attached. We are truly believing in Next Home's motto of humans over houses. So thank you for watching. I hope this helped. If you're going to get solar panels, you may want to have a lawyer look over that agreement. Thanks again. Bye-bye.